Here at Ngosi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. With me today, I have Carol Ann Cooper. Hi, Carol Ann.
Hi, Namsa.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Nice sunny day here today.
I know it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Happy Good Friday, anyone, Ngosi Talk Shows family who are watching us, who are supporting us. We love you and we appreciate you. So our topic today is the importance of movement for people. Why should you keep your body active? So in this video, we are going to discuss the importance of movement for people and why you should keep your body active. We will explore the benefits of regular physical activities, including improved increase the health and flexibility and reduce the risk of chronic disease. And we will also provide tips and strategies for incorporating movement into your daily routine. Carol Ann, I know you chose this topic. And can you tell the audience what was in your mind when you chose this topic, or there's something that actually motivated you to actually choose the topic and you want to share it with the audience?
Yes, it's because movement is very much a key to what I do, and it's really important. And I've realized that actually movement has become something that is not in my life like it used to be, and it is something I'm wanting to bring back in. And I've become very, very sedentary, I think the word is, because I'm just sitting. I don't go out, and actually lockdown seemed to perpetuated that. It's as if that it gave me permission just to do that, to sleep, to sit, to not go out. And I do find it hard walking with my breathing at times, with my body. Things have changed over the last year, but I've still got into that slump of not exercising. And in my head, I remember I used to be so fit. I used to do dance. I used to keep fit, exercise. I used to love walking, swimming, all sorts of sports. So I think I'm grateful for that, because I've got, my body has an element of that still holding me together, so to speak. That movement is very, very important to us. And something that I started learning when I first heard about and started training in brain gym, educational kinesiology, there was a book called Smart Moves. I don't know if I can show it to you with my virtual background, but you lose it. Sorry. Yeah, Smart Moves by someone called Carla Hannaford. And it's why learning is not all in your head. And we tell children to sit still and listen. But you stopped their brains from moving and being active. We need to move to learn. So there's a lot of things around movement. And I remember my aunt, and it's still very much in my head and a constant reminder, but I seem to not be able to get out of that rut at the moment, that my aunt stopped moving. She stopped going out. She stopped walking because she had a fall and she was frightened of falling again. So that fear completely took over her whole life. And people would help her in terms of they'd come and do her cooking for her, or they go and do her shopping for her, or they'd pick her up in a car. And so they perpetuated her just sitting. And literally I could see the decline in her. And when I used to visit her, I used to get her up and walking, take her out for a walk, do some touch for health so she would get that movement in her body. But I wasn't going that often to see her. So it didn't have that full impact, and I could see the decline. And eventually she lost use of her body, and she wasn't present either. She didn't know anybody. So for me, it's very key. Movement helps us, and I want to sort of look more into that and raise people's awareness of where do you hold somebody. Say, oh no, just sit there, stay seated, to an older person. I'll do it for you. Are you actually doing them any favors? Are you doing yourself any favors if you just sit and you think, oh, I haven't got the energy to do this, or I can't be bothered, I'll get someone else to do it, or I won't. What is actually happening to our body? So that's where it's come from. And also with writing as well. Writing is very much about movement. So we can bring out words. It helps for that flow. And when you can express yourself, there's a freedom and a joy that happens. So there's lots of benefits from movement. We were designed to move. We weren't designed to be still. So what were you thinking when you saw the title? What was thoughts brought up for you?
I love the title because I think for a human being, our movement is very, very important for us to keep moving. Some people believe that in order for you to keep moving, you have to do heavy stuff. You have to go to the gym. You have to go running. But you don't. You can go for a walk. That's movement. Instead of driving, you can cut down on driving. It's like where I live. People who go to London, some people don't drive. They don't drive because you get stuck in traffic. So people prefer to drive to this train station and take the train. Or some people, they cycle. You see them with their bikes and they connect. Just movement, that little bit of movement. Maybe going to other places instead of driving a car, dropping the kids from school. If you don't live far, just drive, just walk. Like I live 10 minutes from school, 10 or 5 minutes if you've got long legs. I walk to and drop my daughter to school, because if you take the car, the stress of parking, finding the parking, and some people get tickets, so it's just too much a hassle. Just all those little things that if you can say, okay, yes, I have a car, but I'm going to walk. Or even if you don't have a car, just instead of getting or going to places, some people take buses, even if they are going to like 2 stops, 1 stop, they just walk. And the secret of living longer, my great-grandmother died. She was 109. She walked, movement, everything she cooked in the farm, it was all she used to grow her own food. And she was so healthy. Everything, she was like doing things, but when she died, she was like, I've lived all my life, I've enjoyed a happy life. Now I need to go. And at the time I couldn't understand, why would she want to die? But now I understand that she lived 109, it was too much for her. She had lived long. And movement is good. When you move, your body moves. Just exercises, eating healthy, physically, mentally, and also like I go running myself. But there's something that happened when I go running. My mind, the stress for the day, I go running at the end of the day. The stress for the day, it goes away when I go running. The air, I breathe. I'm happy. I can think when I'm on my own. There's so many joy in it. Mentally, I come back. I'm happy. I just want to dance. I don't think about the stress that happened in the day with the clients or whatever things didn't work out. There's joy, so much joy. There's a joy in doing exercises, in walking. I see people, I'm like, wow, you've lost weight. They're like, I'm only doing the walking, and not only, just say with pride, with joy that I'm actually walking, because walking is strengthened your muscles. Even the movement, some people in the house, you can move. If you can't go far, you can just make the movement at home, just do little exercises. It does work, Carol, and you'll be surprised the little things that we take for granted. It does help mentally, movement, it helps with mentally, physically, it helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you say, just walking? Walking is something that, everybody can do.
Yeah.
And it's exercise. It is moving your body, and it is important. And it isn't just walking; it's walking. And you can.
I tell you what
put
happened.
Some effort into it and make it.
I tell you what happened on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So on Sunday, I go to church. So when I went to church, I knew, because there was a marathon, so everything was closed. So I got into this Reading. And I was like, instead of wondering how to get to Reading, let me just walk. And just put my phone on, and I was like, I'm going to walk, because my pastor put a message to everyone that you need to find ways to actually get to Reading, get to church, because I don't think people who are driving, they'll be able to get into Reading, or even in public transport. There are some places, buses, everything is closed. So I get into Reading, and I was like, okay, for me to go to church, I'm not going to look at where to go, who is closed, road is closed. My feet can take me to where I need to go, because it's like 10 minutes walk or 5 minutes walk. I was like, just started walking. I was like, I know when I go there, I normally go this way. And I was like, I'm going to walk. And I arrived like 10 minutes early than I would if I was like public transport or driving. 10 minutes early, and I was like, I'm loving this. And I was like, it's not actually far. It's like 5 minutes walk or 10 minutes walk if you're walking really slowly. And I was like, if I was with somebody who would be like messing about and trying to find the cars where we can drive, where I was like, I made my life really simple. And I got there okay.
Yeah. You had no stress of where am I going to park and how do I get, it's just like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you're saying about doing the school run as well, the number of people where my grandchildren used to go, the primary school that they were at, we always walked it where we used to live. Where we live now, it's not possible. So we did have to take the car, but up until then, where we lived before, it was walkable. So we always walked it, and it was a lovely walk. But there were people that lived closer to the school. We literally would get in the car, you could see them coming round, but the chaos that it caused was it was unbelievable.
There are some people who live opposite to the school. They actually drive to school.
And what are you teaching your children? Because then they're not getting that stamina by walking themselves. You're not doing them any favors, because over time, you're not building up that stamina. You're not building up their own muscle strength, which gives them that ability later on in life to keep them going. And I think it's that's, as I said, is keeping me going at the moment. And I need to get back to doing more exercise, or finding something that I can sustain, because I keep doing things and then I stop. So this is one thing that actually can stop people, because very often there's lack of motivation. So again, look at what is stopping you from moving. And for me, there is lack of motivation, but I think there's something deeper. It's it's not so much motivation, it's having somebody to do the exercise with, or just to go out, to meet up, to go walk, or because just walking on my own, just up the road, even to the park. I did that a few times, but didn't keep me motivated to keep going at it. Whereas if you've got somebody, an accountability buddy, or someone you can share it with, you can meet up and say, right, let's go, let's walk. It adds a different dimension to it. It brings in that social aspect, which is again an important part of feeling alive. When you're with people, you can chat, you can motivate each other, and it does bring a whole different dimension to it. So that for me is something that I'm looking at, is going, okay, let's see if I can find locally, maybe that I could team up with, or who also is feeling a bit, want to get moving, or want someone to work, to do some activities with, or maybe there is a group somewhere that's fairly close. So I need to look into that. As I said, I used to go to Keep Fit. I used to do all sorts of things when I was younger, and was very, very fit. I love dance. I love movement. I love sport. So there's a part of me that's going, what's happening? But I do know that my physical body over the last 5 or more years has been struggling in other ways, with breathing, with certain weight as well. So that's been an impact that has caused me, I think, to go and slow down. And I just need to be able to reverse that. So, movement. Let's bring movement back in. Find that motivation. Who can you work with? Who can you get to hold you to account? What would work for you that would have you bring movement back into your life in a way that is inspiring, and as you be able to maintain it. It's all very well doing it now and again. It's being able to maintain it and keep it going, because it's as you said, it might just be walking, but it's consistently walking. It's not doing it now and again. It's consistently, or maintaining that routine. That's what has the impact. So notice what's causing you to stop. If it's motivation, what can get you remotivated? So is there what other thing would stop people from exercising? Can you give us one other?
I love that, Carol Ann. I think we lose motivation because people intend to actually, we don't write long-term goals. People put a New Year resolution. They put it as a New Year resolution, and New Year resolution doesn't last, because you get excited at that moment, but you say, you know what? I'm going to, hi, Ara BH from LinkedIn. Thank you for your comments. If you actually write down your long-term goals, why is it important for you to do some movement? It could be a long-term, like healthy, you want to keep a health, like where I live, the area where I live, is so beautiful to live in Henley-on-Thames. For one reason, the GPs, they encourage a healthy lifestyle. In Henley, if you don't do any movement, you'll be embarrassed, because you will see a 70-year-old, a 90-year-old, they are like walking. There's walking groups in Henley. There's recycling groups in Henley. I think all the sports and celebrities, half of them, they live in Henley. So you have to belong to some group. So you feel that I have to belong to some sort of group. There's football players. You can join, play for fun. You can join running groups for fun. You can join, just go like maybe to the gym. there's so much. Even the companies, they encourage their staff to go to the gym. My friend go to work. She goes to work, and then in the middle for her lunchtime, she goes to the gym. So you can have some sort of, you can have a plan and belong to some movement group. Walking group. There's a walking group. I think before, when my oldest daughter was at primary school, I think we used to have this running group. We used to run for 2 hours, but it wasn't like we wanted to compete with somebody. It was for fun, just go up the hills and just run and then come home and just have fun. So it was really nice, and also to learn the places where we live, just to get to know the places and stuff. When I moved here in Henley, I joined some friends, a friend of a friend, the school friends. So we just used to go and just have fun. So you don't have to do things like you take things very, very serious. You can do it for fun, have long-term goals. Why are you doing what you want to do? You are doing the movement, and what are the benefits? And the benefits are beautiful, because you get rid of the loneliness. You get to have people around you. You go out, go for a walk, and then when you finish, go to the pub, have a water or a drink or anything, just relax or have food, just have a chat with people, so you don't get to be lonely. That's why I love about Henley, where I live. It's so beautiful. The people are very, very close. It's a very, very close community as well. Even when you go to church, there are people that are really dedicated to walking, to running. You'll find a running group there. You'll find somebody that wants to take you to running. You find somebody that wants to take you walking. So it is really, really important. Some people, they're like, no, it's for professional. If you want to do it professional, no, you don't. Just belong to some group. I know some areas where people live, people keep themselves to themselves. But I tell you, if you come here, come out at 9 o'clock, somebody's running. Come out at 10 o'clock. Honestly, somebody's going running, because they come back from work from London and they're out. And there is always a group for somebody. And if you don't do anything, you will feel ashamed. Honestly, you will feel ashamed, because you see a 60-year-old, they have their running gear. They are not really running, they are walking, or they are running a little bit, looking really fit. So you get yourself as a youngster, you'll be like, oh, I need to be doing something.
It prompts you into action, eh?
Yeah, do it for fun.
Yeah, but it's not just the muscles that it helps to build. It's actually the joints as well.
Yeah.
Movement. It's good for your joints.
And
it's
calories, calories. Yeah.
Your bones as well. And but you've got your cardiovascular system. It's helping to get that your body oxygenated. But also your lymph system relies on movement. Your blood system, your cardiovascular system, has actually got your heart that pumps the blood around. So your blood is pumped around your body. Your lymph system doesn't have a pump, and it relies on movement. Okay, the vessels are alongside your blood vessels, so that helps with a bit of movement. But your lymph system is the system that clears out the toxins in your body. So if you're not moving, your lymph system isn't moving. You're not clearing out those toxins. So you're creating problems inside your body, because you're gathering toxin, you're gathering waste that the body can't clear. So the more you can move and get your lymph system moving, the more you can clear those toxins out, alongside drinking water, because water can help flush out as well. And that is really important with hydration. Because if you're dehydrated, then your body can't move properly. Your brain can't function properly. So you need to drink water. We are, what is it, 75% water? Around that figure.
2 liters of water every day.
So it's a high percentage of our body is water. So how much are you compromising yourself if you don't drink water to keep that percentage up? Your body needs water. So it is recognizing that as well. So movement. There is a phrase here I read, without it, we would deteriorate. It's that important, and it is. As I say, I saw my aunt deteriorate. I've, in a way, observed my own body deteriorating. And as much as I can see this happening, there's a part of me that's going, but there's a stronger part that is still allowing it to happen. So there's a lot of conflict with me at the moment, and I'm working on it. I'm work in progress. And that's the key. It's being able to notice it, recognize it, and then do something about it, you know. And I love this quote by Oliver Sacks, who's a neurologist and author. Much more of the brain is devoted to movement than to language. Language is only a little thing sitting on the top of this huge ocean of movement. So our brains are set up to help us move, much more than to talk. You know, so sitting and talking isn't moving much. And you're not using that much of your brain. And I know in Carla's book, Smart Moves, she talks about movement. And it's well known that babies need to move because, and how often do we sort of stop them moving? You know, we swaddle them up, or we put them in these tiny pushchair, you know, or they don't have the prams that we used to have where the baby can lie out and move and roll. They're tight like this. They're just unable to move. Movement is so key to brain development because the neuronal pathways develop. And the more you move, the more pathways that get developed as you're growing, as from, you know, as a baby. So it's really important neurologically for you to move. And it does help your cognitive function, your thinking, your mindset. And as you said, Namsa, very often that stress goes, you can think more clearly, and your whole mood is elevated. You know, if you're depressed, just sitting, you see that posture, you're just like, oh, it's a slump. But getting up and moving, your brain, it starts lighting up, and you start thinking, and it's like, oh yes, you know, and your whole mood just changes. So it can have a big impact on your mental health. And they do say, just go for a walk. If you're feeling depressed, go for a walk. So remember that. And if you're feeling depressed and you think, oh, can't, what can you do that would motivate you or get you up and moving? Is there someone that you can, again, I talk about bringing somebody in to support you, that can nudge you, that can help you to say, come on, let's just, even if it's only out the door and back in again, out into the back garden and back in again, and then make it a bit more each time. But you enlist somebody in supporting you to get it done. Because very often on our own, it is really hard to motivate yourself. To find somebody. And if there isn't anybody around you, or you think you haven't got anybody, reach out to one of us. Come and talk to us. We can work with you to just shift some thinking, and help you think, well, there might be somebody that you hadn't thought about that is close to you, that you could have a conversation with. And very often, there's always somebody that can support you that you hadn't even thought about. So do get in touch. You don't need to do this on your own. And I think that is one of the key things. Most people fall into the trap of thinking, I have to sort this myself. I have to sort this myself. No, you don't. You really don't have to sort this yourself. And if you have that belief, then, okay, you have that belief. How is it working for you right now is the question. And if you want to change that and you can't, again, get in touch. And it's like, well, what would it be like if you just had a go at letting go of that belief? Just change your thinking. Again, it comes down to what we've talked about before, fixed mindset and growth mindset. You know, fixed mindset, oh no, can't do that. That's the only way I'm going to do it. I don't know anybody. I have to do this on my own. I have to sort it. Rather than this growth mindset of, well, I wonder what might be possible. Let's explore. Let's find out and see. Let's have a conversation with somebody. You just never know. You just never know. So again, it comes back to that fixed and growth mindset. Which is yours? And which would you prefer it to be? Which is actually helping you to grow, and which one is actually causing you to deteriorate? So look at your body. How can you bring more movement in? And what is stopping you? Because sometimes people go, oh, I ain't got time. I really haven't got time. Oh, no, I haven't got time for that. You have time for whatever you really want to do, is the bottom line.
Yeah, that's true, Carol Ann. Always have time.
Mm-hmm. You do.
If it's important to us, we'll have time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, for everything what you've just mentioned, also we intend to compare our lives with other people. We intend to compare our bodies with other people. When you make a decision to actually make a movement, if you have friends that are fit, that go to the gym 7 days a week, never ever compare your life with them. Because that's why there's this thing that is called uniqueness. Uniqueness, it means your life is unique. The choices that you make in life, they are unique. The decisions, your identity is unique. So every decision you make, you have to make it based on you, your the benefits, that is, what is it going to benefit you? And long-term habit, creating long-term habit based on you. There will be times where you want to do exercises and you don't feel okay. Don't make it wrong. Like Carol Ann says, never make yourself wrong. That day is fine. Find something to motivate you so you can keep going, or find somebody that can help you, hold you accountable. Accountability partner that can motivate you, and just keep yourself unique. Your image is unique, and people cannot define you. Don't go comparing your body with somebody else. Why my body is like this? Why other people's bodies is like this? I've been doing exercises for a very long time myself. So I'm disciplined. I do exercises for a very long time. If it rains, sometimes I say to my family, I'm going out running. They're like, it's raining. I'm like, it's even better. When it's raining, it means I'm going to come home very early. Because when it's raining, it means I run 3 times or 4 times faster to get back. And it motivates me. So rain, it doesn't stop me. It's just the snow. When it's snowing, I wouldn't go out running. I do exercises at home, dancing exercises. So when it's snowing, I have to find the other things to do. I don't like going to the gym, to be honest with you. I like lifting things. I like using the gym at home, but I don't like going to the gym or hiring somebody to help me doing exercises. I just do things that I've learned for a very long time, what works for my body. I've disciplined myself. I eat health. I go running every day, Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I do loads of walking. I think I spend my time walking anyway. I cut down where it's not necessary for me to take it, to go to be in the car. I don't get into the car. I walk. I take my children to school. In Henley, everything is more central. The schools are central. Where I work, the office is more central. So I drop my children to school, 2 minutes from my work to my house. So I go to work in the morning after dropping the kids, and then 12 o'clock, I come home. Before I broadcast at home. So when I finish broadcasting, I edit my video and then go and pick my daughter from school. And then I come and work from home because she's with me. Can't go and disturb people in the office. So I just come here. But Henley Business Center, with everything is more central. So I do all the work. And when I'm done, I cook, then I go running. In the evening, my end of the day is going running, coming back, have a shower, and sitting down, having a prayer, and then go to bed. I make time for everything that means so much to me. I make time. I try to get rid of the things that are not necessary in my life. I read books. When I go to work, I'm in the choir. Where do you think I practice my music? At work. My break time is the time where I go and practice the songs, do vocal exercises every single day, Monday to Friday. That 20 minutes, it's a lot. So I practice my music at work. I think they hear me in the toilet or go upstairs. They hear me, but I make time for music. Somebody might say, why is she doing all these so many things? You'll be surprised at how much time people spend gossiping. Honestly, yes. You will be surprised the time that people spend going to hang out with people and not doing nothing. So all those things that you can cut down all those things. You will still meet people. I still go for coffee with people. I still do the things that I want to do, but you make time. If you really, really love something, you'll make time for it. If it means so much to you, you'll make time. Like here at Ngozi Talk Shows, I don't watch TV. Ngozi Talk Shows, 1 hour is for me, the television time is been taken off. And then I give myself this time to watch TV. To watch TV is the time where I come and broadcast here. Or sometimes some people, they take lunch time and they go to the gym on normal time. For me, I go running in the evening. 7 o'clock, I go out and go running while everybody else is in the house. So those are the times that I make time for myself. I make time to actually pray. In the morning, I get up in the morning. Physically, I meditate. Mentally, it helps me to stay focused. And when you meditate, whatever your values and your beliefs, you can't say my beliefs are these, but I don't have time for it. You have time for them. movement. You have time in the house. If you don't want to go out, you can make some movement, dancing movement in the house. Now on TV, on YouTube, there's everything that you can learn. The dance move. I've learned the dance move on my own. I taught myself the dance move. Now when I go out and people always look at me and they're like, I like the way you dance. I learned to smile in front of the mirror, making some movement. We have a laughing group every Friday where we laugh for 1 hour. We just laugh with people from Bali, America, United Kingdom, different countries. So we laugh, we meet up, and we have a professional instructor. We laugh. So all those things, 11 o'clock, I think now it's going to be midnight because the times have changed. But you can make time for everything. Teach yourself, whatever the movement you want to teach yourself is there. You cannot make any excuses or say, oh, Carol Ann, it's easy to say, but I've got kids. You know what? These kids, they need to get out and do some running and walking. You can walk with the children. I do so many things with my children, and they now speak my language of coaching. They speak my language. Honestly, I do so many things. I go for walks. I go running, music, I practice, I go choir. And the times that I get to actually do the practice is the times where I'm at work. I don't practice music at home. When I go to work, I go to work. When everyone else is having their break, coffee, and gossiping, I do exercises. I go upstairs and do my exercises, listen and learn my music. And that's me done for the day. 20 minutes, that's all I need.
Sounds perfect. That's all you need. But you've got that movement, you've got that regime, and it is having a schedule of it, and it becomes part of your daily routine. And if you can build it into your routine, then that's brilliant. And yes, as you say, you can find time. If you're saying to yourself, oh, I haven't got time, have a look at your values. Maybe do an exercise around your values. What is important to you? And then just ask the question again, and what else is important? And what else is important? And keep diving down. Do you get a list of all the things that are important to you? And then put them in order. What's the top one? What is the most important? And then get your top 5, which are the most important, and then have a look at them. And how does movement fit in with that? And time to find movement. And maybe once you've looked at your values, if somehow movement doesn't fit in with that, maybe there's something you need to shift around your values so that you can bring movement in, so you can find time for it. But it may be that just doing your values, it wakes you up to, well, actually, this is important to me. I need to find time. So then the question becomes, how can I find the time? What is it that I'm doing that I really don't need to do, that I can let go of, or I can jig time around? So do look at your values and what is important to you, and so that you can perhaps find that time for movement, because it is recognizing that movement is very important for so many things. We've only touched on a few areas that it's important for. Something that it's quite a long quote here by a neuroscientist, Daniel Wolpert. We have a brain for one reason and one reason only. That's to produce adaptable and complex movements. Movement is the only way we have affecting the world around us. I believe that to understand movement is to understand the whole brain. And therefore, it's important to remember when you are studying memory, cognition, sensory processing, they're there for a reason. And that reason is action. So there is a lot more to our brain than a lot of people realize. I don't think they really think about what is this that's between in here. How important is that? And how healthy does that need to be? And what part does it play in our movements?
And also, Carol Annie, you do brain gym movement. Can you explain to the audience as well the importance for it as well?
Well, brain gym are activities that help to take away the stress of learning.
Yeah.
They help you to find a different perspective on something. So it's not, when you hear that word gym, it's not like you're in the gym doing weights or running or anything like that. These are activities that help you to have better communication. They open up communication channels, your use of words, your ability to hear and to process communication, to actually be able to organize your thoughts and to be able to then move forward rather than being held back. And also to be able to work with your emotions. Instead of being shut down and in the emotion, it's being able to move up into that higher cortex where you've then got clear rational thought. So this is what the brain gym activities do. They help you to be able to find clear reasoning, rational thought, move with those emotions, and then be able to move forward, and to be able to learn more effectively, to be present and in the moment. And by being able to do that, and also that taking away that stress, they help you, with your breathing, with the body being able to relax, and then you to be able to take action. And because you can then take action, there's like, oh my goodness, there's a relief, there's a joy, oh gosh, I've done it, So this is really for me what brain gym is about. And it is the cornerstone of educational kinesiology. And educational kinesiology is about drawing out learning through movement. So again, we're looking at how our body is or isn't moving. Where's the stress? Where's the tension? And then using brain gym activities to release that tension, for the body to find a more efficient way of moving, so that where you were once stuck, you then have movement and you're able to move forward. Yeah. So they're very, very simple activities, but it's profound. And I think this is where people lose sight of a lot of things. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple. And the simpler, the better. Because very often, something that's very small and very simple can have major, major impact. And I know I'm always amazed at the simplicity of brain gym, but the power of it as well. The changes that I've experienced in my life, what I've been able to now do and accomplish and move forward with. So yeah, that's brain gym. So yeah, so not getting confused with the word gym. I think that's where a lot of people go.
Yeah, actually, when we did brain gym, when we did your course on Facebook, actually on Zoom, I think I've learned so much. And also it triggers something when you do exercises, it triggers you to remember things as well, because we live in this world where we are so busy, we don't have time to think. So sometimes it does help when you do always it helps when you do exercises to be in the present moment as well. And when
it gets the whole brain functioning, you're not just coming from one part of your brain. You know, you need your whole brain to be active and functioning, not just a single part.
Yeah, it does help a lot. And that's why it's important. And when we do those things, comparing yourself to others is forbidden. Buying gossip talk shows.
Doesn't work. Yep. Get that out. But again, if you find yourself doing it, just go, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing. And notice how you're feeling.
Yeah.
How is it making you feel by doing that?
Yeah.
Because when you can actually look at it in that terms and experience it that way, then you can wake up to, well, actually, is this healthy for me? Is this really working for me? And then stop it and then go, oh yeah. Nom says on Nkosi Talk Show says, stop comparing. Carol Ann says,
Carol Ann, not in Ngosi, say Ngosi. Go.
And go.
Go.
So it's not a K, it's a G.
Ngosi. Yes.
Ngosi.
Oh, okay. Not Ngosi.
I've always pronounced it as a K. Nkosi, so it's Ngosi.
Ngosi, yes.
Ngosi. Okay, yes. I'm just going to Ngosi. Gossy or Gossy?
Gossy. Either way, you did it okay. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
But you have to learn it because that's my name as well. That's my first name. Gossy is my first name. So you got to learn it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So coming back to movement, and again, it's by being able to move and have our brains moving and listening, we can pick up on communication, what someone else is saying, because you're present. And being able to do that, again, it helps with socializing, with relationships. I mean, how many relationships fall down because of lack of communication, because of ineffective communication, because of people not being able to manage their emotions? What's the movement that's going on there? And, you know, how are you helping yourself to have effectively a better relationship with the person that you're with, and be able to explore, well, what is causing it to fall apart? What is stopping me from having a relationship? Because there's all these questions that you could ask yourself. There's all these other angles. So where is, how does movement come into this? You might have movement, relationships. How does it work? It does. It really does, in many ways. So
yes, it does. Do you have any words of encouragement, Carol Ann, before we leave? It's 7 minutes past 2.
Okay.
Good Friday. I don't know. What have you got plans for today anyway?
Just I've got writing to do. So I'll just be doing that this afternoon, working with a friend. We're just coming on Zoom together, and he's going to be working. He's got writing to do. I've got writing. So it's having that time together, and I'm finding that that's really, really helping me to get working rather than sitting on my own. So I've got a few friends that I do that with. We have time together where we just sit and work. We have half an hour, work for half an hour, come back together for a few minutes and off again. And it just sits you in that space of, oh, okay, I said I'm going to work, so I work, rather than, oh, can't be bothered. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. But tomorrow I'm going out. I'm getting out tomorrow. I'm going to meet up with a friend. She's a lot better, and we finally said, yeah, let's actually meet up. And so we're going to meet up at Liverpool Street Station.
Okay.
Yeah, and spend some time, have something to eat, do some work, do some writing, or do some work that helps to shift anything that we're a bit stuck with. Play around, play some games. I know, whatever comes up. Yeah. Awesome. What about yourself? What are you doing?
What am I doing today? I've got to meet someone for coffee at 2 p.m. today. And then I've got to spend time with the family today. Today is, I think, I'm just going to spend time with them. If I have to work, I'll just work on my tablet while I'm sitting on the sofa, maybe, but I haven't got things planned for me to say I'm going to work. So there are times where I allow myself to have moment just being lazy. I think that day is today.
Yeah, good. And sometimes we need that. If you want to call it being lazy, it's just giving your body time to recuperate. It does need rest.
Yeah, because
keep moving all the time.
Yeah,
that's not healthy either.
Yeah, and also doing work all the time. Sometimes you need a break in order to think.
Yes.
I find myself if I take myself off everything, then I think. It works.
Yeah.
Like,
because the other thing is when you're on a laptop or a mobile phone or something, your eyes are not moving very much at all. They're just straight ahead. So you're actually locking out movement, and actually having your eyes move is really important, can affect the rest of your body. It's amazing. So stopping, shutting down shut everything down, looking into the distance and coming back in. So you have that movement of your eyes, your eye muscles just out to the distance, coming back in again. Actually rotating your eyes, keeping your head still, looking from side to side, looking up and down, so you bring movement back into your eyes, because again, that will affect the rest of your body. So notice what happens to your body when you do that as well. And you might be surprised at what tension suddenly goes, yeah. We don't realize how something as small as our eyes and those muscles can affect the rest of our body. And it's the same. All parts of our body are interrelated and affect each other, So, what is it? This Plato says, lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being, while movement and methodical physical exercise save it and preserve it. So I just leave you with that thought and the question, is there enough movement in your life? And if not, what could you do to bring more movement back? What about you, Nom? So what would you like to leave them with?
For me, the words of encouragement for everything that we have said, and Carol Ann that you have said, and the comments, the people that have commented, all I can say to you is, no matter what, never compare your life to anybody else. And know that you are unique. Comparison, when you compare your life with somebody else, is a thief of joy. Know that people cannot define who you are. Only your creator can define you. So when you make these decisions about creating your own movement, it's got to be on your schedule. It's got to be, you have to look at your environment. You have to look at your life. When you schedule things based on you, you get the results, and the children and people around you, your husband, your spouse, your partner, whatever you call them. You schedule things around them, not your neighbors, not your friends, because of what they're doing. They do this, and I have to schedule my movement based on them. You'll be very, very surprised when you keep life very, very simple, how the simplicity can take away the stress, can take away everything, and bring joy to your life without fulfillment. That's all I can say to you. I keep my life very, very simple. Very, very simple. People might see me at Ngozi talk shows, Hope Springs, a Tenalin production agency, or doing different things, but I do it because my life is so simple. I never, ever compare my life with anyone. because I know that we are all individual and we are all unique. So just keep your life very simple. And happy Easter, everyone. And live with grace, and God bless as well. And we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. So if you want to connect with Carol Ann, please connect with her. And we're going to have a course, training as well, a workshop that we're going to run. It's a forgiveness course. Because in order to have this fulfillment life, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive those who have wronged you. You have to forgive people who have told you you're not enough, people who have rejected you. Without forgiveness, there's no foundation. So we're going to do the course. It's going to be free for the first time. So make sure you don't miss it. We have not advertised the course yet. So maybe it's going to go live next week. So we've not advertised it. But if you are interested and you're watching this video, you can send us a message so that we'll put your name down. When we do the course, we will let you know. God bless and live with grace.